My name is John Ross with Finance on a Budget. In this video, we'll talk about the basics of stocks, the stock market, and how you can invest to maximize your earnings in the simplest way possible. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. What is the meaning of stock exchange? A stock exchange is the platform where financial instruments, like stocks, are traded. Market participants have been registered with the stock exchange. This includes the companies issuing the shares, the brokers conducting the trades, as well as the traders and investors. Some of the largest exchanges are the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, the Tokyo Stock Exchange, and the London Stock Exchange. But let me back up. What are stocks anyway? A stock, or share, is basically a type of financial instrument that means that you own a claim on a company's assets and earnings or profits. This can also be called a company's equity. So stock ownership implies that you are a shareholder. That means that you own a slice of that company's total number of shares. Now, why would a company issue shares in the first place? Selling shares enables a company to raise capital, which is crucial for startups. Normally, startups don't have the luxury of borrowing money because they may not have a lot of assets to pledge for a loan. So, the most practical way to raise capital is to sell shares instead, allowing the company to operate even if they don't have the earnings or revenues yet during the early days. Also, if a company ever needs to access a larger amount of capital, then it can sell shares to the public via initial public offerings or IPOs. Every company has its own trading symbol, which is normally an abbreviated form of their name. Apple's symbol is AAPL. The stock table will show you the year-to-date, YTD, change in a percentage, which is how the stock price of that particular stock has changed since the year began. The number you see on the stock tracker will be the current price of that share. There are two basic types of stocks, common and preferred. Equity is a common share. If you own common shares, this means that you have voting rights in corporate meetings and elections of board members. If you own preferred shares, you forego your voting rights in favor of receiving dividends in case of liquidation. This means that in case a company goes down, you as an owner of preferred shares will receive dividends and assets first over those who own common shares. Now that you know what stocks are, it's time to talk about the stock exchange. These are basically secondary markets where you, as the shareholder or stock owner, can transact with other buyers. Now, the common misconception is that people think that the companies themselves are the ones selling their shares on the stock market. But the truth is, the buyers and sellers are people just like you. You buy from another investor, and when you sell to another investor and not the company itself. Sometimes a corporation may have stock buybacks or may issue new shares, but these activities don't normally happen during their day-to-day operations and are often outside of the stock exchange. Another thing you should know about is the market index. A market index is basically a gauge of how the stock market is doing as a whole for any given day. It tracks the performance of the group of stocks, for example, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ Composite, or the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You can use this as an investor to benchmark the performance of your portfolio. Stock market definitions for beginners. In this section, I want to go over the many different terms used by the stock market investors. You may have heard many of these over the years, but this will be a review of everything relevant that you need to know. Dividends are free money that some companies give to their shareholders. It may be strange that a company would freely give money away, but think about it. By owning a stock, then you are a part owner in the business. As such, you deserve a little bit of the profits. This is such an important term to know, I have an entirely other video covering this. Link in the description below. Value stocks are generally stable in that they are usually offered by mature businesses that have a steadier performance. Think McDonald's. These companies are usually already stabilized, so they prioritize dividends and shareholder yield over reinvesting into the business and business expansion. This is the less risk, less reward option for investors, but it also means that there are fewer opportunities for companies like this to grow in the future. Growth stock, however, is generally a stock from technology or biotechnology sector with a more volatile performance in the market. Companies that have growth stocks usually reinvest their cash flow back into the business rather than pay dividends. As such, they are riskier, but they tend to have greater rewards compared to value stocks. These companies normally reinvest the money into the business, so those businesses have to be profitable before you can reap any of the rewards, generally by owning them long term, and hope that they'll grow in value. Day trading is where you use a free app like Webull, click the link in the description below and get 2 free stocks. Once you sign up, transfer some money and you can get started buying stocks. As a day trader, your goal is to buy low and sell high over a time period of days, weeks, or months. For simplicity's sake, a day trader will buy a growth stock like Tesla in the morning, sell it back at some point during the day when it can be sold at a profit. If you can't be sold at a profit, it rolls over to a following day. And hopefully he can sell the stock and make a profit. If not, he takes the loss. An index fund is a type of mutual fund with a portfolio, collection of stocks, constructed to match or track the components of a market index. The 3 most widely followed indexes in the United States are the S&P 500, Dow Jones Composite Average, and the NASDAQ Composite. To be clear, a market index is a guide. A mutual fund is where multiple people invest in the same stocks together. And an index fund is where a group of people invest in the same mutual index stocks together, and those stocks are based on the market index that is used as a guide. Blue chip stocks are simply old established companies like McDonald's, Goldman Sachs, and Johnson & Johnson. Generally, these hand out dividends. ETFs are like mutual funds, except they are specific to a single industry. Tech, blue chip, real estate, bonds, etc. The list goes on. But these are generally safe for the long-term investing as they are diversified in stocks on the back end. If you own a tech ETF, they may include Apple, Tesla, and Microsoft. If you buy into blue chip ETFs, they could include Facebook, Coca-Cola, and Disney. A stock option is the right to buy a specific number of shares of a company's stock at a predetermined price, known as the exercise or strike price, for a fixed period of time called the vesting period. When it comes to options, one of the biggest advantages is leverage. But despite the upside, these don't come without risk. The goal is to give yourself an option to buy at a lower price, and if this works out, then you can sell it at a higher market price. A benefit is that even if you're wrong and the stock drops, you know exactly how much you're going to lose before you even buy. As part of options, you have 2 more terms referred to as calls and puts. A call option is a financial contract that gives you the option buyer the right, but not the obligation, to buy stock. So, if you pay some money up front, and if the stock goes up, you buy it and sell it at market value. If the stock goes down, you simply lose your call price. A put option is the opposite. Investors may buy put options when they are concerned that the stock market will fail. You offer up the option to buy with the expectation that the buyer will not exercise the right to buy, because the price of the stock went down instead of up. Therefore, if you own a put, you will benefit from a down market. Options, calls, and puts get complicated, so I'll have another video that covers that. Link in the description below. The last important one is called holding the bag. Stock prices rise and fall all day long, especially for tech companies. But what often happens is FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is when novice investors see stocks rise sharply, they buy in, and just as quickly the stock drops. They are the ones left holding the bag. I like to look ahead at the buy-sell ratio. If I see a huge amount ready to sell off at a certain price, I like to sell at 1 cent lower. The stock may ultimately rise, but I feel better knowing that I followed the herd mentality. The way I figure it, there are smarter people involved than I am, so I do what they do. Buy the hype, sell the news. Goes hand in hand with holding the bag. So my limited experience has been to look into when a company is holding a special event like Apple iPhone announcement, Tesla Battery Day, or even a pointless stock split. A day or 2 before the event, buy into it at a lower price. Shortly before the event, you will see a spike in price. That's when you sell. Get out, and fast. Soon after the event starts, the prices will likely plummet as the news isn't nearly as good as the hype was. The ones that didn't are left holding the bag. You made the money, they did not. This is more advanced, but a margin is the money borrowed from a brokerage firm to purchase an investment. It is the difference between the total value of securities held in an investor's account and a loan amount from the broker. Buying on margin is the act of borrowing money to buy securities. Why should you invest in stocks? Studies show that stocks generate the most investment returns compared to other asset classes over the long periods of time. If you sell a stock at a higher price than it was when you bought it, you get capital gains. On the other hand, if you receive a share of the profit from a company in the form of shares rather than cash, this is called a dividend. Both capital gains and dividends are considered stock returns, and they can be pretty handy in helping you accumulate your wealth. In order to maximize your stocks, you need to have a diversified portfolio. This simply refers to having stocks that don't just come from a single place. This is essentially not putting all of your eggs in one basket. It means that you should own some value stocks, growth stocks, ETFs, etc. A diversified portfolio helps you weather the storm during the ups and downs of the economy. This helps you survive a stock market correction. This is where the stock market drops by 10% or more, and a stock market crash, which is a sudden drop in stock prices in a single day. With a diversified portfolio, you should also be able to survive the upcoming recession, which is also called a bear market. This represents the downtrend of 20% or more, and a bull market means it's 20% or greater. This indicates a growing economy. Ultimately, the goal is to buy low and sell stocks at a profit. If you are a day trader, you buy and sell many times throughout the day. If you are an active trader, you place about a dozen trades or so every month. How can you maximize your stock market investments? One of the most popular strategies when it comes to investing in stocks is the sell in May and go away strategy. Lots of investors believe that the stock market tends to perform in a cyclical manner, and so selling your holdings in May is practical. This comes from the notion that the holiday season usually encourages people to buy stuff, which means that this gives the economy a huge push, leading to a higher economic growth and stock prices. After all, it's a good idea to sell those stocks when May hits. According to this theory, the warmer weather means less trading volume since consumers and Wall Street traders are away on vacation. To start earning money from your stocks, the shares that you own have to appreciate in value before you can sell them. When you sell with a profit, this is called price appreciation. You can also earn from stocks when a company decides to share earnings to stockholders in the form of dividends. You can get dividends in the form of cash or in the form of more stocks. You may also be given stock rights, which companies give to shareholders to provide them with a lower than current market prices. This is also a good way to earn from the shares that you already own, so grab this opportunity when it arises. So how do you get started with investing in stocks? All you really need are funds and a trading strategy. If you're a man or a woman with a plan, the next thing you need is an affordable but trustworthy online brokerage, and you'll be good to go. A lot of beginners immediately get overwhelmed when the topic of the stock market comes up, and it's perfectly understandable. But with the right help, you'll see why it's really not that complicated. We'll have more to talk about as we deep dive into the stock market in future videos. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and ring that bell notification. Thanks for watching.